A very good morning to all the students of class 11th political science and welcome back to the online classes here. Students, as you know, we were into the fourth chapter of your book Indian Constitution at Work, and in this fourth chapter we had already finished three parts, and all those three parts are very important for you. As in the first part I gave you the complete meaning and definitions of executive, and the concept of executive was very much clear to you. With the help of certain examples I had made you understand that, and later on we moved to the other topic and I told you the structure of executive, what is the executive and what are the permanent executive and who are the political executive or temporary executives. Then moving forward I told you about types of executives. In those types of executive I told you we have presidential and we have semi-presidential and we have parliamentary system in India. Then we took the next topic in the third part, that is the parliamentary system in India. Okay, in that we try to understand the complete meaning and understanding of the executive in relation to India, in which we studied about the president, prime minister, council of ministers as a part of executive. If I talk about president, prime minister and council of ministers, they are the, I would say, political executives. But today the topic which we are going to do, the permanent executive, it is a part of the executive but they are called permanent, or we also call them bureaucracy. Okay, so today we are going to understand what do we understand by bureaucracy, who are the bureaucrats and why they are called permanent executives. I have explained you, but I am revising it again so that this concept of executive is very much clear to you, as this executive consists of two parts. If we talk about the entire organ of executive, it is a political executive as well as the permanent executive. So I have already done for you, but again I am explaining it to you. If I'm talking about executive definitions, I have already given you 2-3 definitions and made you understand the entire concept. Executive, a simple meaning, means to execute something, the plans, policies which we decide to do, but when we practically bring them into practice, that is what we call to execute our plans. That is why this organ is called executive, because it executes the plans, policies put forward by the legislature, and it is the duty and responsibility of the executive to implement those policies for the welfare of the country and society, for the entire society. But this executive, there are two important, this is a structure of executive, how they are cooperate with each other and help each other to implement those policies properly. So if I talk about executive structure, it is divided into two parts, political executive and permanent executive. And this political executive is also called temporary executive. The reason being, the members which are included in this political executive, they are president of our country, prime minister of the union government, council of ministers. These are the important members who constitute this particular political executive. And the reason why they are called temporary, because as you know, in our country government has a tenure of 5 years. Every government is working for 5 years. So after 5 years the election will be held, and with the results, new president, prime minister, council of ministers and president will be elected. Okay, so that is why they are called temporary, because they are only for the fix of 5 years. Head of the executive, if I talking about India, here I'm just talking about India, as we are following a parliamentary system here. So the head of the executive, so is in India is prime minister, and they are also called policy makers. Okay, whatever the laws are made by the legislature, those are put forward to the executive. They look into those policies, plans, and they decide how they are going to implement them properly. But to implement them, these few council of minister, prime minister and president, they cannot work for the whole country, so they need some specialized, some skilled officers which are called civil servants also. They are required by these political executives to help them to implement or draft the policies of the government. For that they require permanent executives. These people are officers or civil servants. Okay, and they, what is the function of these people? They help political executive to frame or draft policies of the government. So we can say these civil servants or officers, they are the employees of the government. They are directly accountable or they are responsible to government. But here they help the party who is in power to implement the policies and plans which are decided by the legislature. And also these officers and civil servants, they are responsible for the day-to-day administration around the state or at the central level. So they play a very important role in the administration of a state or a country. So I hope you have understood the difference between the political executive, which is also called temporary executive, and permanent executive. So combinedly, political executive and permanent executive, when we combine them, they are called executive. When we talk about the organs of the government, we say executive as a important organ of the government whose duty is to implement laws made by the legislature, and another important organ is judiciary. But here executive includes these two important parts within it to implement the or frame or draft the policies properly for the government. So here I hope you have understood the difference and the importance of political executive as well as permanent executive. Okay, although this permanent executive always permanent executive always in I would say supervision of political executive, they implement the plans and policies as properly because they are trained and skilled in the different fields of their work. Now moving forward, in relation to executive only, I shall be taking a few important points. So we can say, so I am summing up here, so we can take out the conclusion of the executive from here. So trained and skilled officers. So we are saying, so it is very important for you to also understand, when we will talk about the permanent executive, we also call them bureaucrats or bureaucracy. Whenever we are using a word bureaucracy, it means we are talking about the permanent executive. And I hope you have understood what do we understand by permanent executive. So these permanent executive, we can say, are the trained and skilled officers who work as permanent employees of government. Okay, as I have already told you, they are permanent. Their tenure is fixed. As assigned tasks of assisting ministers in formulating policies and implementing these policies, this also I have already cleared. What is their work? Their work is assisting the ministers, and these ministers are Council of Ministers, Prime Minister or President. They assist them in formulating or implementing the policies properly. And the next point now, legislature also exercises control over them. So now I'm talking about the, as I have told you, organs of government. So what are the important organs of the government? One we are studying already, executive. One is legislature and other is judiciary. So these are the important organs. But as in the starting of this chapter I told you, executive and legislature are very closely interrelated and interconnected to each other and dependent on each other for their proper balanced functioning. So here these if we talk about this permanent executive, they are very much accountable and responsible to legislature. Why? See here, legislature also exercises control over them. Bureaucrats cannot act in violation of policies adopted by the legislature. So they are saying the policies which have been adopted by the legislature, as we have seen in the parliament session, there is Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. In both the house, a bill has been passed. If that bill has been passed, it has been signed by the president. Now that bill has to become the law. To become a law, it is a responsibility of the executive to implement those laws with the help of the political executive, in the supervision of the political executive. These permanent executives will implement those laws or bring those laws into practice. But while they are bringing those laws into practice and implementing them, it is very important for bureaucrats or the permanent executive to see that they do not violate the policies adopted by the legislature, that whatever the important rules and regulations which they have opted up, there should not be any changes in those particular policies when they are coming into practice. So any law coming into practice, it should be exact which has been adopted in the legislature by the Rajya Sabha and as well as by the Lok Sabha. So this is very important for the bureaucrats to implement those policies as it is passed by the legislature. There should not be changes made by the bureaucrats. That's why it has been written. So in this sense, legislature, or we can say people who are the representatives of the citizens who have given them vote, they are responsible because they exercise control over the bureaucrats. Another important point is here. And the next, bureaucracy is expected to be politically neutral. So what do we understand by this? So we are talking about the permanent executive, who are the officers or who are the civil servants, who are the government employees, and whose responsibility is to implement or frame laws and implement the policies for the government, or help the political executives to implement the policies. So they are saying these permanent executives or bureaucrats, they are expected to be politically neutral. They have to be neutral. Suppose this is party A currently, this is the government currently for 5 years. So now suppose the tenure of this government, that is 5 years, is ending, and now there is an election, and now after the result of the election, the new government has been elected, and this government is, suppose this is government B. So the plans and policies and particular laws which were started by this government for 5 years, many of them will be pending. But since new government will be taking the office and starting the office, but the bureaucrats or the permanent executive will be same as they are permanent. They were working with this government also, they will be working with this government also. So it is very important for these I would say political permanent executive, they should not be politically influenced to any particular party, as they have to work for a country, they have to work for the welfare of the state. So it is their I would say duty, as there should be some norms that they are to just follow the rules, regulations for the development and the welfare of our country. They should not be influenced by any political party, whether A or B. Their work should be at the center level. They should not be worried about which government is there at the center or which party they are supporting. So they should be politically neutral, this means. So after we have already understood what are the functions and what do we understand by permanent executive, or who are the bureaucrats and why we call them permanent executives, and what are their duties and functions, and why they are an important part or element of the organ of as an executive. So the important question arises, how they are selected. So we would say bureaucracy, and I have written both the words so that it is very much clear to you that this is one and the same thing. Bureaucracy or permanent executive are recruited. How they are recruited? Who is the authorized office to recruit these people who are called permanent executive? And what are the basis for their recruitment? So bureaucracy or permanent executive are recruited by UPSC at the central level, Union Public Service Commission. Okay, you must have heard of many students after graduation or after post graduation, they say we are preparing for UPSC exam, or civils, we are doing preparation for the civil servant exams. So this is the same permanent executive for which people are taking a lot of coaching and preparation for years, then they are selected. Okay. The Public Service Commission are appointed for fixed term and removed or suspended only through inquiry made by the judge of Supreme Court. So as I told you, these servants are permanent and they cannot be easily removed or suspended. There can be cases and circumstances on which there can be an inquiry on a particular aspirant or a member of permanent executive, but this decision can only be taken by the central government and decision can be given only by the judge of the Supreme Court here. This is important. Otherwise, no one can remove them from their office. So there are various provisions made by the government also to show the complete representation of our complete society. Many reservations are made for the women's, and the reservation based on the caste, as many castes and religions have been lagging behind. So to maintain the equality and all opportunity for all the people of India, they have given various reservations for in the civil services also, or the permanent executive. Everyone gets the opportunity. So next point is classification of civil services, or we can say permanent executive or bureaucracy. Civil means public. These are the services which we will be doing for public, and who are the people who are selected for this? I have told you, through UPSC, and at the state level it is done by the State Service Commission. Okay, so this is the structure or the classification of these services. If you see it in detail, there is All India Services. Under this, Indian Administrative Services, IAS, you must have heard. IAS are the people who will work under All India Services, and Indian Police Services. And if I talk about the central services, these are Indian Foreign Services and Indian Revenue Services. And at the state level, Sales Tax Officers. So this is a classification of the civil services. You need not to go very deep into this, but at least you should know the classification of civil services and who are the people and what are their duties, what are their functions. Okay, this I have already told you when I was starting this chapter, and we had in the second video of this particular chapter, we had started the topic parliamentary executive in India. Okay, because we follow a parliamentary system in India. So what is who all are the people who are involved in the parliamentary executive? So first we studied about president, then prime minister, then council of minister, and today we have studied about permanent executive or bureaucracy. So I hope you have understood this complete topic of parliamentary executive in India. Although if I ask you, among these four, who are the political executive or temporary executives, and who are the permanent executive? So now I hope you will be able to understand and answer that these three, president, prime minister, and council of minister, they are called as political executive, whereas on the other hand this is called permanent executive. And reason, I hope now you know the reason why they are called political executive or temporary executive. The reason being, they are elected for 5 years. As we know, there is a government which has a tenure of functioning for 5 years in India, and these are the permanent executives who are working for the government and who are recruited by UPSC or State Service Commission, and classification I have shown you here. So at last, I am also giving you one definition for that, one more. Bureaucracy is an instrument through which welfare policies of government is implemented. It is so simple, and please don't be confused when we are using a word bureaucracy, bureaucrats, or permanent executive. These are one and the same thing we are using for the permanent executive. So this bureaucracy, it is an instrument, or it is an organ, or it is a part of executive through which welfare policies, plans, programs, or policies are framed by the people for the government, not by the people, by the permanent executive of the government is implemented. So their work is to implement all the welfare policies properly for the government. They work for the government, so they are accountable to government. But they are also indirectly contact to legislature, as legislature sees to it that there is no violation of policies adopted by these executives or these permanent executive when they finally implement the laws which were as a bill elected in the parliament. Okay, thank you.